Minimalism has changed me in a lot of ways. What started out as just a journey to own less stuff has caused me to evaluate how I view the world. What types of things inspire me and motivate me and impress me, how I measure success in life. I mean, we live in a world and we live in a society that in many ways is impressed by all the wrong things. And I have been just as guilty as anybody else. But as I've been thinking about, here are 7 things that over the course of living minimally no longer impress me. Number 1, the name brand of someone's clothing. I mean, people pay quite a premium in order to be a walking billboard for any number of different companies. But when I think about clothing, look, it's important. We all need to own it, and it should be comfortable and make us feel good. We should be looking at what the manufacturing processes are of the clothing that we're wearing. But being impressed simply by the name on the tag, doesn't appeal to me too much anymore. Number 2, jewelry. Look, jewelry can add beauty and it can be a wonderful accessory, and there's certainly a time and a space and a use for it. But when I was writing the book, The More of Less, I interviewed a couple. They had been married for 5 years and they were still paying off the debt from the rings that they bought for their wedding 5 years ago. A lot of people are impressed. I used to be impressed by the carats in your diamond or the flashy gold or silver. And I don't know, I like to think I've kind of moved beyond that in terms of what impresses me and what is a wise use of our money going forward. Number 3, the price of our car. Transportation, good. We need to get from point A to point B. That's the point of our vehicles. But do we really have to buy the most expensive cars to try to turn the most heads while we're making the drive? I don't know. I've come to think that if you can afford to buy a luxury car, you can do more good in the world with the money by simply buying a reliable one. Number 4, the square footage of our home doesn't impress me anymore. After my wife and I had become minimalist for 3.5 years, we moved into a smaller house, and I love it. I feel like it's brought our family closer together. It's easier to maintain. It's less expensive to maintain. I love living in a smaller house, and I drive by big houses now, and I just think how happy I am living in a smaller one. And so I know a lot of people are impressed by the size of that house when they drive by it or want to live in that specific neighborhood. I feel like I've kind of overcome that a little bit in my life and never want to go back. Number 5, the number of dollars in our bank account. People love wealth. We tend to be impressed by people who have a lot of money. I've become more impressed lately by people who use their money to help others, support charities, give to others. This seems to be the kind of use of our money that should inspire us and should impress us instead. Number 6, the technology that we use. I can remember when my son was 10 years old on the playground and they were talking about cell phones and comparing who had what, all the way up into adults, and we're comparing who has what phone and what model and what the newest technology is. Cell phones are great, allow us to call one another and can be valuable tools, but constantly comparing ours to other people, there's not much joy in that going forward. Lastly, I am no longer impressed by people's social media accounts. We love posting pictures of the vacations we're taking, the experiences, the food that we're eating. I've come to notice that most people are writing fiction on their social media accounts, that no one is telling the whole story of what's going on in life. Doesn't impress me like it used to. I don't know where you're at in your journey. I know as I began embracing minimalism and owning less, I started viewing success much differently than I used to before. Hopefully you're having some of the same thoughts as well. And hey, if you're enjoying these videos, be sure to subscribe, share them with your friends.